Hi guys, welcome to my week 6 weight loss update. I can't believe it's been 6 weeks already. I feel like it's going really quick. I'm just going to go straight into the weigh-in. I don't even know if you can see that. But yeah, I lost £2 this week, which I'm really happy about. I spoke a lot about this week in my last video because I was so late filming it. So there's not really much else to say, but obviously I spent a couple of days in London, and this week is my 6-day week. So because of my work schedule, I weigh 1 week on a Wednesday, the next week on a Tuesday, so 1 week is like 8 days and then the next is 2. So I always expect like a lower loss on the 6-day week. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. I'm now in the next stone bracket, and I'm also close to the starting weight I was when I first joined Slimming World nearly 4 years ago. So I don't know how to feel about that, to be honest with you. A part of me is like, it's a bit depressing that in 4 years I'm still this big, but it's a step in the right direction. That's what I gotta think about. But yeah, I haven't got a lot to speak about in regards to my week this week because not much really happened. But I did wanna just go over something that I was asked about on Instagram. I basically had a message of someone just basically saying, are you still doing Slimming World because you seem to be focused on calorie counting and you don't seem to be following the plan? And like some of the comments that I've made about Slimming World aren't like, there's some things I've made some comments basically which aren't as positive about Slimming World. So I just wanted to just talk through that because it's a fair comment. I am still following Slimming World in the sense that I go to a Slimming World group. I have to go to a group no matter what plan I'm doing. I have to go to a group to weigh. I'm not somebody that has the willpower at this point anyway to weigh at home. I have to go to a group to weigh in front of people. Simple as that. I follow the Slimming World plan about 99% of the time, in the sense that most of my meals are Slimming World friendly meals. Even if I wasn't doing Slimming World, in the sense that like even when I'm not on Slimming World, a lot of the food I make, like if I make a carbonara, I make the Slimming World version just because I do like the food, and my husband is doing Slimming World, so a lot of our meals are Slimming World meals, like Slimming World recipes. However, I will definitely say that the focus is more on the calorie counting aspect of it, and not so much the sins, only because I find it works for me. There's a few things on the Slimming World plan that I don't agree with, and that I don't think work for me, so I am gonna like chop and choose to fit me, and obviously if following the plan to the letter works for you, and you can't do calorie counting, or calorie counting doesn't work for you, then that's completely fine. Obviously you've got to do what suits you. For me, a big thing is the portion control and the like unlimited food aspect of it. The Slimming World sort of give out, the eat as much as you want as long as it's free. That's not something I can do. It's something, don't get me wrong, first time I done Slimming World, that was the main reason I joined Slimming World, and a lot of I've obviously rejoined multiple times, and And it's that aspect of it that I like, that I could eat as much as I wanted, because, as you know, obviously you can see by looking at me, I like food, but I've learned to realise that I can't do that. It doesn't work for me. I struggle with binge eating, and I don't, at this moment in time, have the self-control to tell myself to stop when I'm full. So I have to have a limit, and calorie counting automatically gives me a limit. There's been times on Slimming World in the past, I've ate an entire bag of pasta to myself for food, for my dinner. That's not healthy, that's not normal, and it's not needed. I would eat because I thought I could, basically, simple as that. Obviously I was hungry at the beginning, but even once I could have stopped and been full, in my head I could still keep eating because it was free on Slimming World, it was allowed. So it's definitely something I've learned that I can't do, and I don't think a lot of people who struggle with their eating should be told that. A lot of people I've spoke to who've done Slimming World in the past, who still do Slimming World, a lot of them have said that when they're not on plan, they seem to gain more than they would have before, because just from eating Slimming World, their portion sizes have increased, and then when they're not on plan, they're still eating the same amount of food, but obviously not the Slimming World food. They're eating bad food, but the same amount as they were eating the Slimming World stuff. So for me, I definitely think that there does need to be more of a control on the amount of food that you eat, but obviously that's not the appeal to a lot of people on Slimming World. So I get why they do the unlimited food. I do get it, and the same as, like, for me, like, a lot of Slimming World Instagrams, they tailor their meals and they focus their meals on being, you know, the huge portions covered in cheese, not necessarily what looks healthy. I'm doing a lot of this in this video, I do apologise. That just because it obviously is what's appealing to people. People want to be able to eat basically what they want, and I don't know how to word this correctly. For me, it comes to a point where people are rolling their chicken in cornflakes and smash and couscous rather than just sinning. Oh, sorry, I'm pulling the lead on my phone, sorry. Instead of just sinning breadcrumbs, and it's mental to me. And these are all things I've done, don't get me wrong, like, I've been there, I drank the Kool-Aid. I 100% would have done those things to save me 2 or 3 sins in the past, and I don't want to eat like that. I don't know, I guess I have become a little bit disillusioned. Is that the word, disillusioned? Like, to the Slimming World plan, it is definitely a lot of things that I'm sort of seeing with new eyes this time around when I am focusing on the calories, because I don't understand how some people lose weight with the food that they eat. But again, if it works for you, then that's fine. And you know, that's all well and good. There is a lot of people on Instagram especially that do the big meals and the tweaks and the carby, cheesy meals, that they don't represent the plan as what it should be. They leave out, you know, the third speed, and it's not a great representation always. And obviously, I know from experience, the first 2-3 weeks on plan, I would have piles and piles of speed food, and then it would slowly diminish. And I would lie to myself that, oh, but I had an apple with my meals earlier. I had an apple earlier, so it's fine. I don't need anything with my food now. I'll just eat 2 mug shots. And it stopped working for me because I wasn't following the plan as I should. But I need that strict control that calorie counting gives me. And not just that, like, I think this video's a bit of a mess. I think all my videos are a bit of a mess. I don't know how to get out what I'm trying to say, basically, but it just, I don't know. But like the sin things as well, like I have been focusing a lot less on sins. Obviously because I am bigger, I do get more sins than the average 15 anyway, so I do have more of a leeway when it comes to sins. But I'm trying not to look at the sins and things, because I feel like it demonizes food a little bit. Like, people on Instagram and in my group, you know, they wouldn't think twice of having 3 Freddos as a treat, but you mentioned an avocado and you were going to get lynched. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it's just mental to me. And I, don't get me wrong, like I said, I was one of those people. I wouldn't have dared had an avocado the first time I done Slimming World, because it was so high in sins. I could have had 2 bars of chocolate for that. And it's just, now I've looked more into the nutrition of things and the more into the balance of my diet. I am focusing more on the health aspects of it rather than what I can have for my allocated sins. And like, for me, I do struggle a lot with binge eating, and for me a big trigger when it comes to my binges is being off plan, in the sense that if I'd had a treat that would have maybe taken me over my sins or close to my sins, in my head there was no point being good or staying on plan for the rest of the day, because I'd already messed up, so I might as well just eat what I want. Whereas obviously with calorie counting, I have more of a leeway. So even if I have 3-4 bars of chocolate, whilst I would have been over my sins, I'm still under my calories, so I feel better about it. I don't know. And like I said, this is all individual to me. And other people obviously feel different. Other people, you know, may feel the same way about calorie counting than they do Slimming World. It is all individual to the individual person, and you just gotta find what works for you. But yeah, right now I'm still gonna continue going to group. I'm still gonna be eating mostly Slimming World friendly meals. But yeah, there is definitely a lot more focus on the calorie counting from my point of view. But yeah, that's a bit. I don't think this has come across very well. I don't think this has come across how I wanted to word things. But yeah, that's about it. So I don't really have much coming up next week. I'm I have got, it's my parents' 30th wedding anniversary on the 1st of July, and we're going out for a carvery on the Sunday to celebrate, which I'm not too worried about because it's mostly veg and meat. The only thing that'll really obviously be trouble is like the gravy and like the roasties, but other than that I think it'll be okay. And that's about it. I would like my £1.5 next week to get my 2 stone. But yeah, I think that's what I've got to say this week. I thought this was going to be a really simple, quick vlog, but as long as you racked up 15 minutes, clearly I can talk absolute crap. But yeah, as always, if you like my video, please like and subscribe, comment down below. Thank you for watching. Bye!